Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland Reviewer, and this is my week in review. And I have a couple of films to talk about and some shows wrapping up, so my list is a little bit shorter this week. But to start with the films that I got to watch on streaming, well, first off, my Netflix DVD, I got A Score to Settle, which is a WWE film starring Nick Cage. And Nick Cage does his Is He Really Acting? And then he goes crazy over the top, Is He Really Acting? It's a pretty generic kind of thriller. It's a revenge story, and when it really comes down to it, it's like Nick Cage is entertaining enough, but it really isn't something worth going out and checking out. Now, Daughter of Mine, which I watched on Amazon, this was a alright film, It's something that it dealt with some heavy things, and really it's a foreign language film dealing with this young woman, and she's dealing with the fact that she's part of this loving family, and she was really connecting with this kind of a train wreck of a woman from town, and you learning some things about her actual past and her building this relationship with her. I would recommend it, especially because you could stream it on Amazon. It's worth checking out. It's a decent drama. Then I watched the new Netflix film The App, and it was very strange where this film built up to, and I don't know, once it got to where it was really going, did it really pay off for me. So, wouldn't be something that I would strongly recommend, but, it is twisty, turny, it's just a wait. You're not quite sure where it's going to go. And then on Hulu, I was able to watch Astronaut, starring Richard Dreyfuss, who basically makes this film worth watching. He gives a very earnest performance. It has a cute child acting performance and their relationship and this older gentleman trying to win a contest to be the first person on a commercial flight to space. It's pretty generic, pretty cliched, but it's a nice little film. And then getting into some of the shows, we had His Dark Materials season finale this week, and this is where the show finally hit me. And I was really engrossed in this finale, some really interesting twists and turns in the story, and finally getting a little more of James McAvoy, and Daphne Keane does a really good job, and honestly, now I'm really intrigued where the show's going to go in its future seasons, so I'm definitely going to be tuning in. I watched the first season of Keeping Up Appearances. This is something I used to watch with my grandma. Mrs. Bouquet and her really sassy and biting commentary on people she thinks are below her. And some of the things that she says are absolutely terrible but absolutely hilarious. And it has a lot to say about cultural differences and class structure. And I feel like the show's really funny. It's that dry British humor, but it has a lot to say, and I really enjoyed it. I've watched the first 4 episodes of the first season of Love. This is a Judd Apatow show on Netflix. I'm behind the ball on this one, but you know what? It feels like a Judd Apatow show. Really feels like it. It has so many quirky, weird characters. Some of them are really detestable and unlikable, and I'm waiting to see if I start really liking them or not. I remember giving this a try before and really disliking everybody the first time I watched it. So I'm trying to give this another go. We'll see if the show progresses, but it has a lot of laughs, and I enjoy that. I watched the new season of You on Netflix, which, wow, this season was crazy, over the top, so many twists and turns. It felt fresh. It did something different. It didn't just rehash the first season. And Penn Badgley is great in this, and he's really joined by an impressive cast of supporting characters this time around, and you really felt like I was digging into the story. There's a lot going on. There's some subplots that might not have worked as well, but this really, some of the plot twists in this will hit you hard. And I was really impressed with this season and the stinger for the end of this season leading into the next one, because I was wondering, where's this going to go now? And then it's like, oh dang, I'm excited for season 3. I've watched the first 2 episodes of The Witcher, and I think it's interesting. I think it's fun. It has a lot going on, so I'm waiting for this to kind of pull together, because now it feels very scattered after those first 2 episodes. But Henry Cavill's cool. There's some interesting things going on. The action's interesting. The ideas are interesting. I've never played the games. I've never read the books, so this is my first time dealing with the mythology of The Witcher. and I think it's fine so far. I'm looking forward to seeing where the show goes. I watched the new episode of Servant this week, which really pulled some interesting new twists, especially after that last episode with this uncle showing up. Now it's the wife dealing with a friend of hers, a former acquaintance of hers, who knows what's really going on and causing some issues in this episode. And then some weird stuff with creepy stuff with like this strange dog. And this show keeps me drawn in because it has these crazy things going everywhere. The season finale of The Mandalorian. This show is amazing. This finale was impactful, climactic, built up a lot of character and had great character moments, had some awesome action. It really tied up this season, the story of this season, giving the Mandalorian his path. This is the way, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Taika Waititi did an amazing job directing this episode, had great humor. I love Taika Waititi's performance in this episode. I'm really excited to see where the show goes in the next season, so love The Mandalorian. If you haven't checked it out, please do so. Watched a new episode of Jeff Goldblum talking about RVs, which was interesting. It was pretty different. And then the new episode of My Hero Academia, really keep continuing the story. This one had a really big climax that I really appreciated and really felt like a big turning point in this season with a big reveal and some exciting moments in terms of action and one of the newer particular characters in this episode. And I'm really excited to see where the second half of the season goes. But yeah, that's my week in review. If you want to chat about anything in particular, I know you, His Dark Materials, and Mandalorian are some big topics, and The Witcher as well. But let's talk about those, comment below, and let's talk some movies and TV. But thank you as always for supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.